Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're doing well. This is Phil here. Today I felt like sharing a little something I've been working on for some time, and I thought to myself, maybe this could be useful to some of my fellow bass players. So yeah, let me know what you think. So the idea is that when we play bass, our fretting hand, which I will probably at some point refer to as left hand, has to perform roughly 3 different things. The first one would be to apply and maintain pressure on the neck, on the fret. The second one would be to reach across the fretboard with our fingers. The third is the ability to stretch along the neck. Now, as I'm sure you guys know, there is literally tons of exercises that tackle these different aspects of left hand technique. For instance, you've got your basic 1 finger per fret stretcher. So this exercise is just great for developing strength and putting your hand into a stretch, especially if you're a beginner player. It really is an essential tool to develop your left hand technique, and it should be a part of your practice routine. So this exercise is really good for developing strength and putting your hand into a little bit of a stretch if you're more of a beginner player, if you're not too used to performing this kind of movement. In any case, it's a really essential tool that you should implement into your daily routine right now. Now, my question is there a way to improve on this exercise and implement more than just the element of strength and grip into it and add an element of agility to it, which would be the idea to combine 2 exercises into one? Now the answer is yes, we can definitely do that with the infamous spider. The spider, it sends shivers down your spine. It's just one of those exercises that is pure torture. But once you get familiar and comfortable playing these exercises, you can really take your playing to a whole new level. The idea is to perform basically the same 1 finger per fret exercise, except we're adding this element of vertical mobility. So what we're doing here is we're basically playing 1 finger per fret up the neck twice, but we're alternating between 2 strings. In the first part of this exercise, we will be alternating between the E string and the A string, and the E string again, and the A string, then the E string, A, E, A, I mean you get the gist. And then we move on to alternating between the E and D string, and we perform the same exercise, and then the E and the G string. And if you're mad, then you'll do the same thing walking down again and up again. I mean, as many times as you guys are comfortable with, really. I mean, the whole point is to get comfortable with this exercise. I have to be honest with you guys, this is definitely not a beginner exercise. If you jump the gun and you start off with this one, you might actually end up causing some injury to your tendons and muscles and joints. So this is definitely not a beginning exercise. You should already feel quite comfortable with the 1 finger per fret exercise, because if you do jump the gun and start straight off with this one, your hand is not, all the muscles in your hand are not equally developed. You might end up putting your joints, tendon and muscles under unnecessary stress. Now, don't get me wrong guys, I mean these exercises are supposed to be challenging. You're supposed to feel discomfort, sometimes tension, and you know, a bit of a burn that sort of disappears within the first few minutes. But if the pain subsists over the span of like a week or so, then you should definitely take a break for a few days, if not a few weeks, and really go back to the basics and make sure your hand is prepared for that next level, that next step. So we've got one first exercise that's really good for strength and a little bit for stretching your hand. Then we have the spider that still puts your hand under a lot of tension, but also forces your hand to become more agile. So that's 2 elements into one exercise. Now, is there an exercise that combines all 3 of these aspects into one single efficient exercise, I hear you ask? Now, you might regret asking this question, but for those of you who are slightly masochistic, yes, there is one exercise, and I call it the extended spider. I kind of just came up with that name, I didn't really think about it, but if you've seen somebody who uses that exercise, please do leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know, so I can give credit to the person who first came up with this. Although I think I kind of did, but oh, I guess we'll find out. So as I said, the one last thing that the spider was missing was we didn't have to sort of stretch along the neck very much. It was all very, very contained, very, you know, it was just a cluster. And there's something we can do about that. So as I said, the one thing that the spider is missing is an element of stretch. In order to achieve this, we're going to add some space between our fingers by sliding our middle ring and pinky fingers down a fret to create kind of like a 4 fingers per 5 fret situation. Then basically perform the spider with that in mind. So this is what it looks like, guys. We're going all the way across the fretboard, alternating strings. Then we're going to move that extra fret that was between our index finger and our middle finger. We're going to move it between our middle finger and our ring finger, then perform the spider all the way across with that extra fret. Then move that extra fret, that space again between our ring finger and our pinky finger, then all the way up again. Now, if that's not enough, you're more than welcome to perform that exercise sort of up and down, as I mentioned before, for the sort of more regular spider. Now, at the risk of repeating myself, guys, I reckon it's better to be off the bass for 5 minutes crying in pain that eventually goes away than to be, you know, forced to stop playing for maybe a month or two. Don't jump the gun. Don't start with this exercise if you've never done the one finger per fret extensively before, or the spider. If you jump straight to level 10, then you're definitely going to hurt yourself. So there you go, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found something useful about it. Please do let me know in the comment section below and leave us a thumbs up, subscribe. There will be more coming soon. Alright guys, thank you very much. Back to the shed for me.